We should be live, right? Yeah. Alright. Had to switch the setup around real quick. Not bad, though. Yeah. And let me... Oops. Let's move myself over. Make the chat a little larger today. Hey, Linky. There we go. That's a decent setup for a bit. I know I didn't think of doing this before. What is Puffer at in stars? I think it did pretty well with the video. $867 stars. Dang. That's pretty good. Yeah, 867. That's nice. Okay. Editing stuff. Let me increase the... this is good. Pretty much just gonna be chilling. And I should post in the Discord. Where's the stream link? Oops. Blurry, yeah. Hello, folks. Algorithm just recommended me your thesis defense, and I really enjoyed it. Thank you. There's a long video I just posted last night that's me going through the Pufferlib paper. That one's more technical. And then what I'm editing in the background here will be a new, much higher production video on Pufferlib, reinforcement learning, and my thoughts on the field. So, pretty soon, as soon as I finish editing this. I think I have a decent amount done on the editing of parts 1 through 5 out of 12 total, I believe. So, should be good. But yeah, pretty much idea is just to hang out for a couple hours here, edit this for a little bit, and answer any questions people have along the way on RL, Pufferlib, stuff in general. We have a few people doing custom environments and stuff, so I figured some might drop by. See you, Linky. How many training tokens is Llama 3? 15 billion tokens? Yeah, 15 billion it looks like. Is this their big model? Looks like it. $16,000 frickin' GPUs. Heck, where did my... Oh, that's weird. Still don't understand exactly how. Every so often I'll do stuff with the video editor and it'll do something weird. Oops. I don't know how far the goal is to get on this today. I don't know, we'll see. 2/3 done, maybe? 2/3 done at least on the initial pass? Wouldn't be terrible. I will say it got a little bit easier when I actually got a proper video editor. Instead of trying to do it in, like, you know, the dinky little ones I'd use for previous stuff. Hello, YouTube folks. I'm just editing stuff in the background and chatting about RL with whoever. Because until I get this darn video done, not much else is going to happen. But I think it'll be a good video. I hope it does well. We'll see. But I think people will like it. Of course, I have it blurred, no spoilers, but, you know, be up soon enough. Don't quite have assets for everything I would want, unfortunately. Use the puffer figure. This is from the archive paper. You can kind of see it. Speaking of which, there is a video up on the puffer paper. That's part of the reason I'm hanging around. Figure maybe a couple people will want to chat about it. Who knows? I figured this would make it slightly less boring as well. Like, editing is really just, like, mind-numbing, brain-dead work. Hey mate, watch the YouTube vid on your RL paper. Good stuff. Thank you. I put a little poll on Twitter, and I just asked if people wanted like a quick video that wouldn't take too long to produce. So I made that one. The thing I'm editing here in the background is like a 100-hour project or whatever. It's like going to be like a 30-minute video or so, but just way higher quality. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. So we'll see how that goes. But I figured I'd drop by and answer random RL questions in the meantime, especially for people that are like trying to dev sims. I really hate video editing though. It's like, I guess technically I could just get somebody to do all the edits and I could just do the scripting and stuff, which would take me somewhat less time at least. I don't know. Even the scripting and like the recording of stuff just takes forever though. I think it was a total of like probably 16 hours of recording for 30 minutes of footage. What are some of the most useful courses you took to scale RL algorithms, write performance RL code? There is not a single course I have ever taken that has been directly related to reinforcement learning. There simply are not courses for this stuff. In fact, a lot of the low-level stuff I do now, I can credit Stanford with absolutely ruining systems for me because I had just a terrible systems lecturer. Um, so I had to kind of rediscover some stuff on my own there. Let's see, scale for write high performance RL code. Honestly, it's just been a ton of doing. It's just been like a ton of doing stuff. If you're looking to learn, like honestly, the easiest way to get involved with this stuff is to just start doing stuff with Puffer, because like I'm writing all the highest perf RL stuff out there, and it's really not that complicated. Like the whole stack is a few thousand lines of code. It turns out it's like it can be made very simple if you try. Yeah. What, do you think 16 hours of recording for 30 minutes of footage is too long or too short? Kind of entitled and gatekeepy? It's the opposite of gatekeepy, man. I'm saying you can literally just like show up and start doing stuff. Gatekeepy would be me saying that you need to take like these 5 Stanford courses or whatever, right? And these like 5 MIT courses, and you need to do all the stuff that I've done. It's the exact opposite of gatekeepy. Have to take some courses, compilers, OS. Probably. I didn't though. Um, I don't know. I think that really the only useful courses you do need a base in ML generally. The ones that I think were actually good were like my intro CS course at Stanford was good. It filled in a bunch of random gaps. And then after that, like probably 231N was the other one that was really good. That's online too. Data structures wouldn't be bad. Data structures is like the intro course. It so I you, if you program before you get to undergrad, you skip the first course, so it's technically the second course. It's 106X is the course that covers data structures and algorithms, at least more implementation, less theory side. That was useful, but not too much upside of that. That was pretty funny. I sure as hell don't want to be gatekeepy when I just made a frickin' hour-and-a-half video about how bullshit the academic gatekeeping is, right? Already taken directly related to ML. Won't be a complete waste of time. Most of this stuff will be a complete waste of time. It's really like start doing stuff, right? Like start doing cool open source stuff, start doing projects. We have lots of people in the Discord making like high perf RL sims now, with no prior experience. Now, like, yeah, I've made it a little bit easier with the way I've set stuff up, But, like, you can still learn and do a lot of stuff really fast. I will say, though, like, this is assuming you have at least some, like, background in general programming. That's the one thing. The thing that takes forever is getting to be, like, good at general programming. That takes forever. Honestly, I think that's probably the hardest thing, is, like, writing code that does not make your eyes want to bleed. Only metric that matters is the eye bleed one. Some banging around code. I mean, it's like, assuming like that I'm not completely bullshitting, like, you have to learn from somewhere, right? It's the most accessible way of learning is just by doing stuff, right? You need a laptop. That's all you need. I mean, you don't even like. You should see some of the code that I wrote when I was younger when I started. I wrote some absolute garbage code. All right. Have you ever seen somebody try to process a graph without knowing what a graph is? Let me tell you, in some poor Stanford research code base from when I was 16, there is like a recursive method that has 12 layers of nested for loops for me just trying to like special case all the portions of a graph and write loops all the way down the graph. Okay? I could have solved it in about 10 lines of code in 20 minutes with like breadth first search or something. Just breadth first search. There are a few algorithms I occasionally use. They're the really simple ones, right? Like the simple search algos. You seen the MOBA that I've been building? So in that thing, what we do is we do breadth first search, right? But then we cache the results of breadth first search from every tile on the map to every other tile on the map. So we have O of one breadth first search at runtime because it's just all pre-computed. So there are some cool things you can do. You should see who we have on the Pokemon project. We have people that came in with like no experience at all and are kicking ass these days. It's pretty cool to see. Oh yeah, I forgot I made a figure for this I can just use. Mm-hmm. One of the funny things from the video on the paper, which I guess I didn't say explicitly, but I find it very perverse when you have like an area of work in which it's basically a total clown show, but you insist on being very formal about everything. Like, to me, that's like something is wrong there, right? Like, if you're gonna have an area of research or an area of science or something where like everything is just totally messed up, like at least own it, right? So it's like, oh yeah, the paper that's trying to like have the field not be completely on fire. Yeah, it's like it's not respectful enough or whatever of the academic context. It's like, come on. You can say that when your field isn't on fire. The hope is that I'll finish editing this maybe tomorrow evening. I'll get a little bit of a breather over the weekend. I'll release the new video, and then I'll be able to spend most of next week doing like actual cool low-level systems work again with Puffer. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't think I've ever done Advent of Code or any of those things. I've actually never even been to a hackathon. Isn't that funny? It's like, why would I go to a hackathon? You know what I call a hackathon? I just call that Saturday, right? A little awkward. I will say one thing that was, at least starting with like way younger when I did, even though I think like it would have been easier to learn now because I'd just be generally way less stupid, um, was being able to just work the hours I did when I was younger. It's hard to it's like it's hard not to learn stuff when you're pulling 100-hour weeks. I don't do that anymore, but you know, doing that early on definitely helped. Probably wouldn't take me as long now. I don't know. I generally think like stuff is way easier for me to learn now than when I was younger. What low level work on Puffer are you referring to? You can look through the Puffer code. Um, but for the new stuff I'm working on, I'm trying to make it really easy to push M's from Python to Cython to C. So I'm trying to have like a really nice way of having sim code be easy to port from high level to low level so that you can start out prototyping and then you can get the performance. And then if you want it to run on the web, you can go to pure C for WebAssembly. So I want to make that better. And I generally want to make it easier for people to contribute different interesting simulators to Puffer and to be able to learn how to do like ultra high perf sim dev. Hmm. It's actually kind of funny how good Scython is. Like, there's still a couple things in C I haven't figured out a good way to do that are easy in Scython. Like, the support for multi-dimensional arrays is just so nice, and, like, it's hard to get around that. Basically, everything else is just as easy in native C, but I haven't found a good workaround for multi-dimensional arrays. Puffer require model written in PyTorch? Nope. Why can you not use JAX-based model with an env that cannot be written entirely JAX? Wait, why can you not use JAX? You can totally use JAX for your models if you want to. The Puffer core doesn't depend on Torch or any other learning library. Our demos are in Torch, because I generally think that it's the better framework at the moment. But yeah, if you want to do JAX demos, you can just like use our vectorization and then just slot the vectorized environment in where you'd slot your vectorized environment in for any other learning library. It's like a gymnasium vec style API, so it's like easy to slot in anywhere. Tagline is a bit misleading. What tagline is misleading? Wait, which tagline? Oh, yeah, you have a PyTorch. Yeah. That's an that's like an older one. I should probably update that. Yeah, that was like one of the first ones. That's on the homepage. Yeah, you're right. I should just replace it with model. The thing is, because all the demos use PyTorch, I have it in PyTorch, right? Jax has gotten larger since I made Puffer. I still don't think Jax is in a place where I would be interested in doing much with it unless I had like a good reason to do so. Yeah, that ecosystem is way too fragmented. It's like the JavaScript ecosystem practically, where they have all these different third-party libraries that don't play nice together. It's like the opposite of play nice. The hell? What the heck happened with this? Learning how to do basic animations in the background so that the video cannot be garbage. I left it just blurred enough so you can see the basic of what's going on without the content. Let's see. Yada yada. Thing slides over. Cool. You know, maybe not Jack's models, but I am kind of interested in TinyGrad. By policy, I'm usually not going to be the first one to play around with new libraries and frameworks. I generally wait for more stable stuff, just because I end up wasting a lot of time. The one major limitation with TinyGrad at the moment that gives me some pause is just the fact that they are not having an optimized eager mode, so everything has to be compiled, which makes it really hard to do like fancy forward passes. I think it would make the LSTM hard. Makes a lot of the things that we currently do difficult because everything has to always run compiled. It's one of the really nice things about PyTorch is eager mode is the default and it's optimized for like pretty fast eager mode. Welcome, YouTube folks. Just hanging out answering RL stuff. Working on the background. Mm-hmm. Some people tell me that the puffer docs on the GitHub IO were really clear, and some people tell me like they don't know what the hell is going on with it. So I don't know who to believe. I guess this does kind of just cater to like our lowest level stuff. It's blurred anyways, but puffer AI GitHub IO. It does cater to like our lower level stuff. It doesn't really show you the latest demos and things. I don't know, might have to expand some stuff. I see you regularly go on stream for hours on end. Hope you're staying healthy and getting some exercise in. Love the work on the pufferfish. I think I'm getting some exercise in, right? Well, there goes the green screen. 1 second. Fuck. Hold on, let me fix this, and I'll tell you. Ah, jeez. I think we're good. I think it's still in a good spot. Yeah. Now I've got slightly green borders around me, but whatever. So I ran a 50K 3 weeks ago or so. I posted the training for that on my Twitter. Let me find the article. Yeah, let me link the article. So I did the 50K like 3 weeks ago, and I'm generally running 6 days a week and doing some amount of powerlifting 5 days a week on top of that. So yeah, doing at least a couple hours of exercise a day. I can't believe I managed to knock the green screen over. uh, Completely misunderstood your situation. Yeah. I don't do anything else outside of that, mind you. I pretty much just will go work out and write code and do this stuff. That's pretty good. It's a very good investment of time, right? Honestly, it's the one thing that I sometimes will post outside of tech is just like more tech people definitely need to be getting some fitness in. Um, yeah, it's really important. So I will sometimes share some stuff with that. Yeah. Damn, if I'm getting those questions, I gotta change the camera angle or something. Oh. Yeah, next video is not gonna be in a tux. Next video in swim trunks. Uh, uh. I moonlight as a farmhand. Good exercise and working on problems while I go. Hey, that's good. Farmers get strong as hell. I just have my barbells. I wasn't able to do any like squats or deadlifts for probably 3 or 4 months while I was doing the running training because I did a couple marathons. I had to build for the 50K and it was just way too much to be running 40, 50 miles a week and also be trying to do lower body work. But I've started those back now. It'll take a while to build that back up. But the goal is going to be to build the running volume back up. It takes a long time to recover from a 50K, so that's going to take a bit. And then build it back up, but with the lower body strength back. I want to be able to pull 400 again. I haven't done that in 2 years because of the running. It shouldn't be that hard, though, to get it back. I think I was 10 pounds, close to 10 pounds lighter a couple years ago when I was in like the peak shape for that. And it's not fat, so it should be easy to get it back. Sounds intense? Nah. 4-plate deadlift is pretty intermediate, right? For weigh-in 180. I think it was 175, I think, when I hit it. I had long arms. My squat's terrible. what to do with this one. I have a table that's too big to put in anywhere reasonably. Just gonna stand in front of it. Did you know you can apply reinforcement learning to your body just as well as to agents? Yeah, if you just apply a reward signal, it gets better. Well, there's absolutely no reward signal coming out of editing this video, I can tell you that much. God. Works with horses? Does it? I thought you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Maybe adjust your reward signal a bit. Yeah, if I'm doing more of these videos, I'm definitely just hiring an editor. Because holy hell. I find it, like, incredibly difficult to do anything that I find boring, like, at all. It's very difficult to focus on anything I'm not interested in. I can't force myself to focus on something if I'm, like, just bored. You can make him do anything you want if you feed them enough treats, except the ones who are assholes. uh... I saw the clip from the Olympics of, like, the jumping, was it the jumping horse just, like, dumping the rider into, like, one of the barriers for some random reason. Just like, nope, get out. I don't think I've ever seen a horse IRL. You in New York City or something? Jeez. I guess if you're in cities. I don't know, I got a bunch of weird quirks. Like, I actually don't, like, I stopped functioning in cities as well. Horse was exhausted, rider ignored the signals and tried to force a jump it the horse knew it couldn't make. That's what I saw in the comments. That's what I saw in the comments. It was still kind of silly that it, like, dumped the rider into an obstacle and just, instead of just being like, no. Well, actually, what the hell, actually, yeah, I know it, right? Like, you're in a big city, which is probably going to be New York, right? Yeah. I understand why people like New York City as well, right? Like, there's all sorts of stuff happening there. But for me, literally, if I spend 3 days in New York, I'll have severe depression by the end of it. Like, I don't know. It's too much all at once. Need the peace and quiet. Great animals get very soft noses. Oh, also, nobody tells you, horses are freaking massive as well. They're like massive animals. some that are taller than me. And there's a mini who's a strange looking. Oh yeah, I saw a bunch from recently that were all taller than me. They stand like, what? 6.5 feet tall? Or am I crazy? Taller than that? No, they're taller than that, aren't they? Okay, maybe I don't know what I'm doing, but yeah. Some of them are big. At least, yeah, they're big. We pretty much got the plan. Oh, who's that? Welcome. Probably folks have seen it, but if you haven't, there's an hour-and-a-half long rambly video. I say rambly, it's decently produced at least. It's one take, but I think it's decent. Of me going through the puffer lib paper and giving some extra thoughts on the YouTube. So that's there now. And there will be a substantially higher produced video as soon as I finish editing it here in the background. Halfway through. And eventually I just got so bored that I was like, okay, I'm going to throw the stream on up before I go insane doing this. So really, like, you think that the stream is me entertaining you, but in fact, it is you entertaining me. Chill stream to hang out on. Procrastinating. Editing this doc, yep. And occasionally cool RL happens in here as well. That's always fun to see. Usually cool RL happens, to be fair. What do you think about off-policy RL? Sure. I've had fine enough luck with PPO, and Rainbow's kind of gross and complicated compared to PPO. I guess SAC, yeah. SAC is usually more robotics people, though. I don't really care about on policy versus off policy. Like, that's not a hill I care about very much. It's horsing around. Bet. But the thing is, like, I haven't really seen a compelling reason to use one over the other necessarily. Like, PPO solves Dota, so that's what I use, right, as my default. It's also probably a simpler algorithm if you think about it as well. Yeah. Oh, geez. I screwed up with this. Okay. There we go. Dynamic game difficulty with RL? Yeah, totally. That's totally a thing you can do. In fact, when I started Puffer was going to be all in on games. It was going to be a games company. But then I realized that it's actually very difficult to work with a lot of the games industry people. So I decided, screw it, I'm going to make it way broader. And we're going to do like more low level tools. And we're really going to push the field forward and not going to get too hung up on the specific applications. Can you suggest why transformers usually perform worse than GRU's LSTM when adding recurrence to RL algorithms? They don't. Transformers are fine. It's just that they're really annoying to implement with the way that data collection works in RL. Like, they're really obnoxious to implement correctly. And even if you do implement them correctly, they're way slower because they have quadratic time over the context window. Not to mention the attention operations themselves are huge memory hogs. So RL loves data. It loves when you can just consume data and data and data. So the trade-off is speed, right? It's nothing fundamental about the architecture. In fact, sample for sample, I guarantee you transformers are going to be better if you do it correctly. But that's the only reason. I've heard of there are newer like recurrent state space models that apparently are good that I need to look at. There apparently has actually been some model progress that might be a huge thing for RL. But here's my whole thing with Puffer, and you'll hear this in the video. Like, I don't want to do anything on the experiment side until we have the fast environments. Because think about it. Like, right now, you're going to spend 3 months, like, actually trying to test whether your new thing is any good. But once I have all these fast environments, it's going to be like, run baseline comprehensively on all these environments overnight, boom. There are your like 100 billion steps worth of experimental results. And then implement your new thing, run that overnight, and now you have comprehensive, conclusive evidence for everything. So it just enables you to do such easier research. So that's what I'm focused on now. Mamba, yeah, exactly. I have not read any of the I mean, they're not even that new at this point, right? But I haven't read any of the architecture papers on it. Let me look real quick. Linear time sequence modeling. Hold on. Let me undo the blur for a second. Filters. Undo the blur. Structured, let's see. State space models, let me see. Let me see why these would be any good. What are these? Each channel of an input. What does it mean, each channel of an input? Latent state. Oh, geez, what the heck is this? And why is this better than an LSTM? Let me see. Discretization. That's weird. Model's dynamics are constant. Mm-hmm. Pretty good YouTube video. Yeah, DM me the link. I'll look at that at some point. 3. So the linear projection. Okay, so the SSM block, I don't understand the math here, just on the first glance. I'm going to have to actually look at the math for this in more detail at some point here. Is it linear time with a gigantic constant? Mamba 2 already? I guess these things have been tested way outside of RL, right? So maybe I should look at this. The thing is, like... Okay, let me go back to this blur. The thing is, in RL at least, I generally am not an early adopter of stuff because I just assume all of the published papers are wrong until proven otherwise, which ends up being a really good heuristic. Because, like, RL is just... This stuff is just always wrong. But yeah, if it works on language modeling and stuff, then it's probably good. So I'll have to look at those. I have to also see the time complexity and stuff, like how fast they are compared to like an LSTM, because we're directly looking at wall clock time. Don't know anyone who uses S4 and like for RL. Which is weird because if it's a state-based model, it should be really easy to implement, right? So I assume that it's very slow. Or that it doesn't, or that it's like not effective at small parameter scales or something. Because I generally assume like stuff will be everywhere if it's like, if something is like in the giant set of popular things, right, where everybody's looking at it, usually all the stuff has been done already. Like, the way I consistently do new stuff that nobody's ever thought of is by doing crazy out there things, right? Wait, what the hell? 0.6. How does Neural MMO have 1.6k listed stars? Did I mess that up? I think I might have messed that up. That's weird. Not 1.6k. I don't know. Oh, because it's linked to the OpenAI repo. That's why. Okay. That's fine. Back to editing. The thing that sucks with making these videos is, like, this basically has to get 50k views in order for it to be worth making with the amount of time that it's taken. That's the real kicker on making these. Welcome YouTube people, welcome Twitch people. I'll link my other video for the playlists or whatever for later. Because there is a video out. I kind of just made this one because Twitter asked me to. And I figured it would tide people over until the new one's released. It's a long video, hour and a half. You can kind of just listen to it in the background or whatever if you want. It's got some cool stuff on Puffer. Imagine how much time professors waste to make present. Well, but the thing is, it's closer to a one-time cost there because they reuse the material every year, and they actually do not prep the lectures very well at all. Like, they don't prep the delivery of the lectures anywhere near to the extent that you would put into a polished presentation. Listen to it this morning while working? Well, thank you. I hope there's some interesting stuff in there. I mean, then you know the basic architecture of all the stuff. The thing that the puffer paper doesn't cover is the thing that like now, so puffer exists, right? And that paper sets up all the stuff I'm doing now to actually be useful. So the thing is now, because we have these million step per second sims, because of all the other stuff in puffer, we can actually get the full million out of it, and we can have everything like train ultra fast, and we can run ultra fast experiments and everything. Without all the puffer infra, it would be a pain in the ass to do all that. Oops. What happened here? Oh, settings messed up somehow. Should probably add a bib text block. Yeah, I should. There is an archive paper technically, right? And the archive paper is linked on the website. Yeah, the archive paper is at the top of the website. But yeah, you're right, it needs a bib text block. Cite the pufferfish. Really, I want to finish this video and then just hang out and write C for the next couple weeks. Is what I want to do. What about that? Can I just like Finish this video and then go write a bunch of cool C code for the next few weeks. That'd be fun. Welcome all the YouTube folks. There we go. I will say that the video did seem to do at least something for the Puffer repository. Though it's been stuck at 867 all day. But overnight it got quite a nice bump. I'm hoping that soon we'll start to see a lot of people. I mean, we already have a few people contributing sims. I'm hoping that we'll see a lot more of that soon because it's going to get even easier than it is now. And like for how fast these things run, it's already pretty darn easy. Oops, let's put this here. I don't even have a neural MMO graphic in here, do I? That's a little silly. The amount of time I spend on neural MMO. Put a little neural MMO graphic in here. I think I finally fixed the YouTube monetization as well. Well, we'll see whether they approve stuff, but I mean, I'm sure that's $0, but whatever. I will say that the one thing that does slightly bother me with The Sims at the moment is that like it's so nice if you put them in C because you can just run them on the web, but I don't want to have to ask people to write C code. And even if I make it really simple C code, it's still a lot to ask people. So I think Python is going to be good enough. It'd be really nice if I could put that on the web, but I don't think that's going to be doable. The other thing with Python is like, I think I don't think that there's a way. Excuse me. There isn't like an easy way to have persistent objects in Python that are not classes. I don't think that you can just have a struct in Python and have a handle to it in Python, which is a little annoying. But there are a couple limitations. Mm. 883 lines for all of Puffert's Vec at the moment. Oh no, 739 lines of code with the comments. Put this in here. Wonder where Nathan and Noah are. They've been doing cool stuff with environments lately. If you haven't looked at the Discord, discord.gg/puffer, there are some cool environments being built in there by contributors. Mm-hmm. Wonder why Pufferlib uses an LSTM wrapper instead of a GRU. Thought GRU was better than LSTM for recurrent tasks. CleanRL uses LSTM. No, I don't think there's anything that says a GRU is better than LSTM. Dota used an LSTM. I'm pretty sure that they tested both. And also, here, let me link you. This is the classic paper on this. Let me take the blur off for a second. Okay, so this is the paper. They did a ton of experiments, 5,400 experiments, studying like all the different types of things. None of the variants improve on LSTM significantly. So they did a big study here. And it's basically like, yeah, it turns out the LSTM's hard to beat. There was a little discussion of state space models in here a while ago. Maybe those would be better. We'll see about that. But it's not going to be as simple as just swapping GRU. And if you want to try it, by the way, you could probably change like 10 lines of code and have a GRU instead of the LSTM. I wonder if any of the Dota guys, some of them are still around doing stuff. I wonder if any of them would answer if they tried GRUs. I'm sure they did. I'm almost sure that I remember them having discussed this as well. Basically everything was discussed over lunch at one point or another. I'm pretty sure all the NDAs are expired by now, right? I forget what mine was, how long mine was for. It can't be longer than 5 though, right? Okay, and that is section 6. Basically edited. At least is a decent enough first pass. Oof. What's the goal going to be for today? 7:15. So, one more section maybe? One more section today. And then what? I have one meeting tomorrow, but I had one today as well. So I think that if I do a decent amount of work tomorrow, if I get one more section done today, I should be able to get the full first pass on the video done. And then maybe I'll code Saturday, finalize it Sunday, something like that. We'll see. Or finalize it Monday. I don't know if I want to be doing this on Sunday. Burnt myself pretty hard last week just doing this all weekend. Maybe I'll just get as far as I can tomorrow and then I'll finish it on Monday. Well, not bad. Let's see if I can get one more of these done, though. I'll give you a little bit of a details on this. So the format of this video, it's like 10 2 to 3 minute segments, plus intro and outro. So I currently just finished editing segment 6. Well, not finished, but like, all the assets in place, all the timings roughly set up, that sort of a thing. This is by far the largest video project I've done. It's not, I wouldn't say it's considered a particularly large project, but I'm not a video editor, right? To be fair, I haven't fully checked all the video clips yet. So it's technically possible I have like a green screen screw up or something on one of them, but I doubt it. I think we're probably going to be good. And it's just going to be a matter of how much I want to polish the editing and how many like stills I want to put on the screen while I'm talking, that kind of a thing. And if I want to do audio post or anything like that. I think the overall quality should be pretty good. Overall quality should be quite good. It's too abrupt. Wait, 6, 7, yeah. Oh, I didn't realize. Hold on. Sometimes I forget that I did things to make my own life easier. And your life doesn't get easier if you forget that you've done the things in order to make your life easier. In this case, I'd forgotten I'd already prepared a figure for this. Hello, do you work full-time in open source? Yes. Yes, technically all of Puffer's stuff is open source, so yes. Puffer is also a company. But all our stuff is free and open source. So this is my job. Of course, there's some company stuff and some promo stuff, so like me editing this video in the blurred background. How's the company earn money? It doesn't yet. It's a brand new company. That said, as soon as I publish this video, we'll be officially open for business. And any companies that want support, extra support on Puffer or on related reinforcement learning things, want priority features and extras, will be able to pay for that. But the full library is open source, free. Yeah, it's fun. I messed something up here. I did mess something up there. That happened. Of course, when you're spinning your own thing, you end up doing, a bunch of random stuff too, like this. Gonna head to bed. Gonna head to bed night all. See you around. Thanks for dropping by. There will be actual dev on here relatively soon, in a few days. As soon as I finish this random stuff. Basically, with this one, I wanted to actually put enough effort into this video that, if anything is going to repeat the success of my thesis video, it should be this thing. So if this doesn't work, I'll go, okay, the RL video was a one-off. I'll focus more on dev and streaming and stuff, and maybe a few easier to produce videos. But yeah, this is the high effort one to see as a test. If it does well, we'll do more of them. If not, we'll just do more dev on stream. There's going to be stuff either way. It's just what I do. And ultimately, I'd rather just be writing code, so I won't be too disappointed, I guess. But I think that people will get a kick out of this. It's always possible to just miss, but we'll see. Wait, what happened here? Something weird happened. No. I didn't mess anything up. Okay. Oh, perfect. I found the code snippets I was looking for. Luckily, this section is easier to edit. I'm a little bit annoyed to see that I think that the quality actually increases in the later clips. I'll have to watch the whole thing through and see if I want to re-record anything. Like, I think it go from maybe like a 7 out of 10 up to a 9 out of 10 over the course of these clips. Like, I just get into swing with recording stuff. Like, by the end of it, I'm, like, in my element and, like, just cranking out good stuff. Somebody should do something with VizZoom. I think that would be a good thing if anybody's looking for like a cool environment to play around with. I added a binding port in Puffer Dev, and I didn't get to play around with it enough, but I think it's pretty fast if you actually render it at a reasonable resolution. Doom is cool. Doom. They say up to 7,000 FPS, but I think it actually can be faster than that if you really render downscale. Doom. Oh, they actually got the VizDoom font on their website and stuff too. That's cool. Yeah, this is good. I should use this. That'd be nice. I do Atari, ProcGen, and Doom. It's like my fast rendered environments, right? Maybe we'll be able to crowdsource a little bit of this work. Maybe I'll wait until I start actually putting bounties on stuff. The heck? Why can't I? Stupid. Something is wrong. Oops. Right crop. Percent. What's up, Linky? How's it going? Yes, do indeed star the puffer. Starring the puffer helps out quite a bit. The more people star the puffer, the more I will be able to do dev and not to be stuck in editing hell. I do not like editing hell. Much prefer code. Yo, Linky, speaking of which, this Doom environment... Hold on. I'll show something cool. Let me fix this filter. This Doom environment right here, I remember that I played around with this on... I played around with this a couple months ago, and it's actually pretty fast if you enable like this obscure render setting to really render it at low res. I think we could use this alongside like Atari and ProcGen, and then we'd have a really nice suite of like rendered game environments of varying difficulties. So we could probably do something cool with this. VizDoom. Package needs a little bit of work. Back to editing. Can we not just remove? You'd have to do like custom state processing and stuff, so yeah, you could. I was just thinking like, hey, we probably want to have a few environments from Pixels because some people will care about that. So like Atari, ProcGen, and Doom, we can probably get all of those training at least at 30K plus, which is decent enough, right? That was my thinking. And then we run carbs hyperparam sweeps on top of them. Okay, this section was pretty quick to edit. Let me order food. Before I forget to do that. What should I get? Blurred image makes you look like a magician. Huh. Well, I mean, it's blurred for no spoilers. I figure it's like you can kind of see I'm doing stuff in the background and we can chat. Which for some reason we had like 12 or 13 concurrent just watching me edit this blurred video and hanging out. So I'm not complaining. I was hoping Noah or Nathan would stop by and I'd be able to answer some stuff on the environments, but no worries. Man. I don't want Italian. How does one not exclusively eat junk food? That's a good question. See, what I really want is I want there to be a diner a block from my house. I want there to be like a diner. I can just go and get some soup and some eggs at 8 p.m. Apparently that's too much to ask for in Palo Alto. The economy here is so crazy. You can literally DoorDash a burger from a Michelin star restaurant, and it'll be the same as a Five Guys burger. Just looking for something like reasonably healthy. Puffer still has more stars. Hmm. That's funny. It's true. And like I care about food, but I don't really care about high-end food, right? I just want like a good like down-to-earth diner around and like a few places like that and I'm happy. Freshly squeezed carrot juice. Yeah. Oh, this works. Okay. That's done. I maybe can edit one more section of this actually while food gets here. That'd be nice. The heck is wrong with this? Fucking editing. Fancy, have to do separate audio and video editing now. Gross. How do I do this? I'm trying to think whether this is better or worse than making figures in my PhD. I think this is better than when I was making figures. Because, like, the impact is way clearer than just making a dumb figure, right? And I think it's not as hard to make something at least decent compared to making a good figure is a total pain. Ah, shit. This one's gonna be a lot of figures. Oops. I'll hide the chat. The stupid crafter gif was gigantic, right? I think I remember the crafter gif being like something stupid. I don't know, I got a kick out of the fact that the worst written environment was also like the dumbest size gif. Oh, why can't I put a gif in here? Really? Unsupported format or damaged file. Doesn't look like a friggin' damaged file. Oh, I think it's the suffix on it. If I just name it crafter.gif. Really? Still can't be imported? Hmm. Oh, wait, this is inside it. Maybe it's inside of a zip. That's obnoxious. Still no? Really? What the original? $16 freaking megabyte GIF? Oh, actually, the original doesn't even import. That's bizarro. Wait, does other stuff import? Hmm. Something's broken with the crafter GIF, I guess. It's weird. Shouldn't be anything broken with the crafter GIF. Oh, this environment isn't actually as popular as I thought it was. Yeah, this is actually a very small repo. Video.gif. Can I open this in Handbrake? Does this hand do GIFs? Does. So I can export MP4. I'm hesitant to export things on this computer. I literally had to open the case and blow on the GPU for like a couple of minutes while I was exporting the hour-and-a-half video so that the PC wouldn't overheat and shut down. It was like 100 Celsius. Don't try to encode videos on a mini ITX, apparently. I wish I were making that up. What in the heck? Oh yeah, I forget that this guy is like insane and uploaded a 2-minute GIF. Who does that, man? Freaking 2-minute GIF file. I'm tempted to re-implement Crafter on CPU just to compare to CraftX and show, like, you can kind of just shred stuff on CPU if you know what you're doing. But that seems a little bit petty. Definitely would never be petty. Would never want to do that. Food's on the way. Uh-oh. Okay. I thought the clip was corrupted. I like how I have a 3-minute segment in this video basically saying slow Python is slow. Did you know that if you write Python and it's slow, then it's going to be slow? Is frame stacking a worthwhile beneficial feature? If you're not going to use an LSTM for whatever reason, then yes, you need frame stacking. If you are going to use an LSTM, then it's largely redundant. At least in theory, it should be largely redundant. It's technically possible for it to not be redundant, but if your implementation is decent, then it should be redundant. Another thing to consider with frame stacking is that it puts additional onus on memory bandwidth and on the CPU that is rendering the environment, which usually, if you're rendering environment anyways, you have, that's going to be the bottleneck. Usually the rendered environment is the bottleneck, not the learning. So I would generally not want to put more onus on that side of the code. That said, it has been, I think one of the reasons it was very worthwhile to use frame stacking over an LSTM previously in like older benchmarks is that their LSTM implementations were just really bad. Good for context of velocity. Yeah, but an LSTM will do that as well. So it's one or the other. You definitely need one of them. I can show you why exactly. Hold on, let me grab this. Let me unblur the screen for a second here. Okay, so let me show you something. I always use PPO as the reference here because SB3 doesn't even have LSTM support, so obviously you're going to need it in SB3. CleanRL does have LSTM support, so these are like the two common libraries, right, that people use. Velocity. He just literally means like if there's something moving in the image. So look, this is the PPO LSTM Atari implementation right here. And if I look at the way that they do their LSTM, find it. Okay, do you see right here? Let me get out of the way. So this is how they do their LSTM implementation. They have a loop. So if you write your LSTM with a Python loop, it's going to be really slow. Ours doesn't do this. Ours runs without the loop, so ours is fast. So basically, like, if you use an implementation that looks like this, then yeah, frame stacking is going to be better just because the LSTM slows your code down so much. But if you use a good LSTM implementation, then actually what will happen is that it'll be faster and better with an LSTM compared to frame stacking. That's what I've seen. So it's a matter of your infrastructure. With Pufferlib, we pretty much always use the LSTM. There are also some dumb benchmarks, like CleanRL has baselines in which they do better without an They do better with without an LSTM than with an LSTM on some Atari environments. But I ran hyperparameter sweeps, and it's literally just hyperparameters. Like if you have better hyperparameters, then the LSTM will do just as well, if not better. So there you go. There's your very detailed explanation. Whoops. What the hell? Oh, I forgot to lock this. Food's here in a few. Anybody have any last RL questions, or am I just gonna finish these last couple edits in the background and be done? Frame stack only gives you that type of information, though, Linky. It doesn't give you any more permanent memory. It gives you goldfish memory. Yeah, and you're spending accidentally quadratic there, Linky, because you're making, as long as your memory is, you're spending that amount of processing time. So if you stack 64 frames, now congratulations, right? You have gigantic input. And not only do you have gigantic input, but the way comms work, like you're learning like separate features for each time step in the past, which is really janky. There's a bunch of weird stuff with that. Not commenting on efficiency yet. Reasonable. Okay, well, food is here. I got like halfway through the 8th one today, so I have half of 8, 9, 10, and the outro to finish tomorrow. So 3.5 clips, and then I have to polish. Might actually be able to finish editing tomorrow. That'd be awesome. But anyways, yeah, Star Puffer Lib, hold on. Let me pull this up because it's been pretty cool, the support on this lately. Pull up the filters. Okay, so thanks for swinging by. I'm usually actually deving code, but if you want to support the actual environments and all the things that I'm building, I'll put this in the stream chat. This is where all the work is. It's all free and open source, so you can play with it there. Start on the way in to help me out. Repository's been doing amazing lately, though it looks like this history chart's broken for some reason. But yeah, there we go, 867. And other than that, yeah, I'm hopefully this video will be out on like Monday or whatever, start of the week. And other than that, I'm gonna go grab some food and I'll be back tomorrow. So thanks everyone, and see you around.